and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm glad you stopped by. I want this to be a channel where you can find encouragement, reflection, and an opportunity to grow in your spirit. Today I want to talk about something that we all wrestle with at some point, and that is waiting on God. Whether that is waiting for healing, clarity, companionship, or even a breakthrough, I'm sure we all find ourselves asking, how long must I wait? Waiting is hard, especially when the silence seems endless. But waiting is not wasted time. It's actually sacred ground where God is doing his deepest work in us. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." Notice how it repeats the word wait. Almost like God knows how much we struggle with it. Let's look at some familiar faces in Scripture who waited and still waited some more. In the book of Genesis, we read how Joseph was given a dream as a teenager, but he spent 13 years in slavery and prison before it came to pass. He probably spent those 13 years feeling forgotten, unjustly accused, and probably forsaken. But God was shaping his character for his incoming leadership. He became second in command to Pharaoh. In Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, we hear about Moses. Moses knew he had a calling to help his people. He spent 40 years as a shepherd tending sheep before God sent him back to Egypt. That's a long time for preparation. In the book of 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel, we read about David. David was anointed king by Samuel as a young boy, and it took 15 more years before he actually sat on the throne. And between those years, he was usually running from the current king on the throne, Saul. We also have the Israelites. The Israelites spent many years, some of them in slavery, some of them in captivity, some of them in exile. God was purifying a nation who had essentially forgotten him. And in the New Testament, we look at the life of Jesus. Jesus did not start his ministry until he was 30 years old. He waited 3 decades, walking among people and quietly preparing for the ministry would be the redemption of all mankind. So what do we do while we wait? Waiting isn't passive. It's time to draw closer to God, pray, serve, and grow. Isaiah 40, verse 31 says, "They who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They will mount up with wings as eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint." Waiting will strengthen us if we let it. So ask yourself, what is God teaching me in this season? How is he shaping my heart for what's ahead? One of the verses that I've been looking a lot at lately is Jeremiah 29. Now, for many of us, we know Jeremiah 29:11, which reads, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to give you a hope and a future." But do we know what God said prior to that verse? To give you some context, in Jeremiah, the Israelites were in exile. The Babylonians had taken them out of Israel, back to Babylonia, and in essence, they were uprooted. And now they were waiting. They were waiting for one day to be able to go back to Israel. But through the prophet Jeremiah, God spoke these words, that while you wait, Build houses and live in them. Plant gardens and eat their produce. Take wives and have sons and daughters. Take wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage, that they may bear sons and daughters. Multiply there and do not decrease. But seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare. When 70 years are completed for Babylon, I will visit you, and I will fulfill to you my promise, and bring you back to this place. In other words, we are to live, thrive, bless, and build. Build. Don't wait for the next thing to start living. Fix up your space. Make it a place of joy and peace. Plant, literally and spiritually. Start small things with faith, whether that be a garden, a hobby, a new habit. 3, invest in people. Call a friend, mentor somebody younger. Even in solitude, connection is healing. And 4, seek the good of your surroundings. Volunteer. Pray for your community. Be a blessing where you are. And there's one I would like to add to that, and that is, do not forget God. Moses tells the Israelites in the book of Deuteronomy countless times to not forget God. God is the one who probably put you there, and he has reasons. Sometimes we put ourselves in situations, but God sees us, he cares for us, and he's either preparing you for something or he's preparing someone else for something. As in Jeremiah, when he was about to do something in Babylon. Psalm 103 verse 2 says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not his benefits." The Lord is still going to bless you, and in return, you can be a blessing to others while you wait. Dear friend, I know that waiting is hard, but you are not forgotten. Like Joseph, Moses, David, and even Jesus, you're in good company. Keep living, keep planting, and keep building. And when the time is right, God will open that door you've been praying for, often in ways you didn't expect. Until then, stay encouraged, stay faithful, and remember, your time is coming. Until then, lean into that wait, because there is grace there too. If this message has blessed you, I'd love you to like, share, and comment below. How has waiting shaped your journey? We are walking this path together, gracefully.